RDU
Yes.
is a genius. No, wait. BGH. He brought BGH against the planned handlock of Lifecoach, and he's got to be feeling pretty happy about that one.
I think Lifecoach has to change his strategy for other rounds. Like, you know.
Yeah. RDU is one step ahead right now. The mind theory is currently in the favor of RDU. He's got that BGH tech ready to go. Although it's not that uncommon to see it, it's just that
Oh, look.
sometimes
Turn one. Oh, surprising.
So, for those of you who may not be familiar with what's going on, so Lifecoach is actually not AFK right now. He's just staring at his screen very intensely.
Yes. That's very true.
So, you can stare at your screen very intensely if you want, you know, a little bit of insight as to how Lifecoach is feeling right now. All right, so he plays a zombie chow after a pretty long time of deliberation. And RDU thinks for about 0.2 seconds before daggering up.
That brings the balance, you know, between the two players.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Oh,
An
that's
MC tech.
he teched out Warlock, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Not something I expected very much here. So I like RDU's decision to ping the zombie chow to set up the fan of knives on the following turn. He gets pretty much all the health back -1, so it's really not a big problem for him.
Yeah. 1 mana for 1/2 creature. That's kinda not so good.
Mm-hmm. And he had no other play really anyway. Like it's he's trying to set up some kind of mid-game board. He's running Cold Bloods though. That's not a card I can say I've seen very frequently in Rogue nowadays. So maybe this is a mix between the deck that you mentioned earlier with Nirbar Weblords. Not Weblords, but the Nubian Ambushers, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we can't really say yet, but yeah, the Cold Blood, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's not something I've seen very frequently in Oil, but it might make it a bit burstier, especially if he's running Arcane Golems. So Lifecoach taking only 26 seconds to play his Twilight Drake with the coin. I'm really
actually
like
surprised. I'm actually surprised because I think the 4/9 Twilight Drake will be more intimidating to for the rogue.
But I think by not seeing the SI7 to kill a zombie chow, he figures there's no bodies that he can use to wipe my Drake. Maybe that's the line of thinking that's going on here.
Do you think there will be Defender of Argus phase?
It could be, like, there's many lines of play he can take here, including a coil on the Violet Teacher, but he could be more aggressive. I mean, if he floods the board, MC Tech actually isn't too bad. It feels like they're both teching against one another. I don't know. This is weird.
Funny.
MC Tech.
I think when Lifecoach analyzes his hand, like he sees there's no AoE, he might clear the Violet Teacher.
Yeah,
it might
I
pose
think
a
that makes
problem
sense.
next turn.
No, exactly. I really like... I mean, if you don't clear and you don't have any AoE, you're leaving yourself vulnerable. Very vulnerable. And I mean, if the Drake gets sapped, that's just good for Lifecoach. He just gets it back into play, fully healed.
Well, he goes for the Defender of Argus, so I'm actually surprised he didn't opt for a cycle, like double
coil?
cycle, right? With the coil and life tap. Conceal. What is
Okay,
going
RDU. RDU. Are you still playing Gadgets and Auctioneer, RDU? RDU.
Maybe. Wait, does RDU have a wooden stick in his hand? In his mouth?
Yeah,
English
yeah, he's kind of chewing on
What's
a wooden stick. It's for
what's the
stress,
English
you
name?
know. Toothpick?
Yeah, toothpick. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
Gangsta.
Gangsta mode. Alright, Deadly Poison is getting played to actually get rid of that Sludge Belcher. So that's gonna wipe the board, at least partially. It's gonna leave a little slime behind, but that's no problem. Oh, RDU's hand, I mean, if he's playing Gadgets and Auctioneer, he needs it pretty soon, though. Because this is a pretty boring hand, honestly. He's got an answer to a Giant, but I haven't seen a single Giant in Lifecoach's hand right now.
Maybe Lifecoach dropped the Giant.
Knowing that RDU would be metagaming him. You know what, this is too much mind games for me. I can't keep watching this. I can't keep watching this. Okay, this is definitely a mix of old school. It has to be something like arcane golems in here.
There will
with
be
gadgets
Black
and-
Knight.
If
There
a
will be
Black Knight
Black
comes
Knight,
out
yeah.
here,
Black Knight and Shadow Step. Shadow Step is a great toolbox. The problem with that toolbox is that he lacks threats, and actually, now
Yeah.
Lifecoach pushes the rogue player into the ground with the like static 3 points of attack.
yeah, doesn't even need giants. He's just using very straightforward minions to wear down his opponent, and that's kind of the weakness of Miracle Rogue, I think. And it was always that, is if you don't get your card draw, you're generally in a really awful spot. And the new Rogue also suffers from this with Prep Sprint, but they tend to run more minions. And now, seeing the Conceal here, I have to wonder what cards RDU had to cut to make this work.
Yeah, definitely agree. Well, there are a few options here. I think low tap is just fine, perfectly fine.
Yeah, it locks the Rogue from actually using any answers, even if she's got any, so... So,
Interesting.
I guess you just full heal. All right, so he doesn't want to load that. I guess
Okay,
he wants
so
to.
yeah,
keep
he wants
it
he
for
wants to
turn.
keep the full value of the low tap like in a crucial turn, and maybe Lifecoach is like kinda getting to know RDU's deck here
Yeah,
at this
because
point.
if you don't see any minions at this point, you've got to be. It's either the guy has the worst draw ever, or he's just not playing the deck you thought he was playing. And so, Lifecoach might be making a read here that RDU is capable of just bringing back a little bit more of an old school Miracle type of deck to the table, and is playing around that right now, keeping a low sub for when it's going to be necessary. RDU not seeing any giants. Probably thinks Lifecoach has some Moltons here that he can't use, but that would be wrong. Lifecoach has plenty of cards that he can use. Another Sludge?
Yeah, I think so. Large Belcher and
You could even play
Laptop?
Mind Control tech.
Nah, I don't think
for
so. Actually, there was one Blade Flurry being already cast, right? So that Mind Control tech will be not so threatened by the second one when there's Deadly Poison already on board. Second Cold Blood, well, that's a dead draw.
I mean, what you could do now is you could prep Cold Blood the Sludge, attack it with your face, and BGH it, sorry, and then attack the slime if necessary. Like, it's such a bad play. Or you know what? You prep Cold Blood the Sludge, then you Cold Blood it. Again, then you attack it, then you escape concede faster than Lifecoach can see the move.
Well, this sucks. This really sucks.
He's doing it. He's conceal Cold Blood BGHing.
Oh.
I'm telling you, man. Does he shadow stab the BGH to keep
this
it back?
This is so bad.
I can't look at this. Oh, this is terrible. Oh my god, he does. Oh, RDU.
Oh, this I
I'm
don't
so
know.
sorry.
How can we come back from that? And
He might Cold Blood the 3/3 and then replay the BGH. No, okay, he doesn't. I will send a letter of to your family, RDU. You are currently 6 feet under the ground, and we are sorry. We apologize. And now Lothab comes down. Now Lifecoach is like, wait, I know what's in his hand. He's got a BGH. He can't play any spells. There's no way I lose this. And he's right. He's totally right.
So RDU lost the first game because he teched so much cards.
Well, he just wants to play Miracle. I'm just wondering what the rest of his deck was.
Yeah, well, he didn't draw anything. He didn't draw anything.
Well, he's still alive, right?
6, and there's no bursts in hand, so yeah, most likely yes. Oh, Kaltazat. Oh.
He just replay it because...
Well,
play
you
Kaltazat and
just-
you trade.
Yeah, you just play Kaltazat trade. Again, in the lifetime, you're at 30. What do you even care? There's one card in your opponent's hand.
Whoa, Voidwalker. I like that. So was he taking against aggro more so than anything else?
I think so. Both players were taking out,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Lifecoach won this.
Life Coach's handlock
matches.
is gonna take this first game for sure. Oh, there are minions in RDU's deck. He just had a really dead draw.
Yeah, that card draw was really awful.
Definitely. Well, we saw a Cold Blood BGH, so that was kind of fun at least. But a very one-sided game all the way through.
Yeah.
So RDU is going to lose this first one. His Rogue is not eliminated. This is Conquest format, so Life Coach will not be able to play his Warlock again. We know that
I think
got
that's great for him.
and Druid.
I think that's great for Lifecoach, just to lock that Warlock as soon as possible.
Get it out of the way and make sure that... I mean, if he actually feels comfortable with Mech Mage, that's going to be one of his possible follow-ups.
Well, we have to think that this Rogue deck has to win against Druid and Mage.
That's right, actually. This Rogue deck that RDU has needs to win against... I mean, Mage and Druid are beatable, but the thing is that the deck that he had, I'm not too sure what exactly it contained. Because between the Shadow Step and the Conceal, and the double Cold Blood, I have to assume there's at least an Arcane Golem for some sort of burst finisher. And
Maybe.
yeah, you would probably need to go find an amazing amount of damage there to do that.
I'm really sad that we don't see Lifecoach cam. I don't know why. He always has his cam on, so...
Yeah, maybe his computer's acting a little wonky. He had to reboot before we started the stream.
Too bad.
Yeah. So RDU, we are told, is going to pick his Hunter next, and Lifecoach, after winning with his Warlock, is going to be moving on to his Druid. So Druid versus Hunter. I wonder if RDU is going to be bringing a Face Hunter or more.
No, I think RDU will bring a midrange. Like he almost always plays the midrange Hunter.
All right. Well, you know them better than I do. They're on your team, so I will trust you on that one. Although I haven't seen him play much hyper-aggressive decks, even in the past. Yeah.
That's true. So we're going in a few seconds into the game.
Yeah, so Hunter, is it a Golden Hunter? We're gonna see.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, wow.
And a Golden Druid.
Okay, that's Golden Druid. Lifecoach has some time on his hands.
Swag.
Oh my
Will
goodness.
there be a golden coin also? And there's a big game hunter in the hunter.
No, did I see a Kazan Mystic and Druid? Did they? Are you sure they did? Did they share deck lists with one another? There's no way this is actually a thing.
They are so decked out. That's that's impossible.
And RDU, oh my goodness. And the worst part is, this is the only deck RDU has that could possibly contain a trap. Like, the only deck that could contain a trap is the Hunter. And Lifecoach says, I'm gonna go for Druid. I've got a Kazan Mystic tech. I'm good for this.
You know what was RDU's game plan? To have big game hunters every single deck and beat the Warlock every single time with each deck.
Yeah.
And that didn't pan out.
Uh-oh. So let's see what...
well,
well, this is turn 1, so we have to wait at least a solid 45 seconds.
There was a golden coin and the wild grove.
Yeah, the battle of the golden classes.
Yeah, but you're playing the wild grove on turn 2 anyway. I don't think there's merit to coin out wild grove here.
The only time where it's relevant is when you Wrath turn 2. Well, with 3 mana, and then you swipe the spiders off.
Okay, Lifecoach disagrees. So his plan is to use Ref or Hero Power on turn 2 this way.
Yeah, that's it. You Wrath the Haunted Creeper turn 2, and then you swipe stuff out on turn, like, almost turn 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's something you can do. It's a line of play that I like. That Glaive Zuka from RDU, though, he doesn't even have to put anything more on the board, and that Web Spinner is going to deal 4 damage total if Lifecoach decides to use his Hero Power.
Yeah, he has to. Like, there's no way he will use the Ref for Web Spinner.
Nope. But now Lifecoach could be thinking that RDU is playing a more aggressive deck, because Glaive Zuka is not necessarily included in mid-range decks.
Mm-hmm. I agree. But on the other hand, okay, I'm totally wrong. He is using the Ref for the.
Yeah, he's
Web
afraid
Spinner.
of it being, I think, a Face Hunter, probably. Ooh, Bud, Sky Golem and Druid, I like you.
Lifecoach is just loving this card, you know?
It's a crazy value card.
It's
it
great in
trades up so
Paladin
well.
when he drops Alkanai. And then you lay on
'cause
hands
there's
for
no
8
way,
points
yeah.
of damage. And drawing 3 cards.
The Keeper of the Grove here just takes care of the Raptor very easily. I mean, you do lose it, to the Leopardome plus weapon, but it's really not that bad, is it?
No,
I don't think it's that terrible. Yeah, you can keep the Grove here. You just make sure that Grove is safe from raptors and other types of beasts. Alright, RDU snap plays a Paladin Shredder, which I think, you know, it's one of those cards with such high value. It leads to some really fun games. I think we got a Doomsayer last time. I'd like to see more Doomsayers coming out of that thing.
Yeah.
Usually tends to be the most awesome card.
Too bad for Lifecoach there's no trap at all for now. But the swipe feels good. Anyway.
Yeah, depending on what comes out of here. So is it a piloted, not a piloted, but a... Oh, what?
Boom shakalaka, Lifecoach would say.
Oh wow, the ooze. Another ooze. I like ooze. Everybody likes ooze. Man, actually, RDU's hand right now is probably as dry as it could be against a druid. This double unleash is not what he wants to see.
RDU is not drawing well in this match at all.
The Nourish from Lifecoach.
Ja, ich habe die besten Karten hier.
I'm actually surprised because I haven't seen much Nourish. Is it a card he favors much?
Yeah, he likes
in
it.
general? Okay. I guess when you have like an almost dead hand, it can actually make your late... Yeah, that's right. It makes your late game legendaries that are stuck in your hand if you have a dry hand playable next turn, so really not that terrible. Alright, RDU getting 2 hounds off that unleash. It's actually not that bad. He's gonna opt to go face... thinks about trading the 2-1 to maybe prevent the swipe after the spiders popped. And I think that's a pretty viable play, but the 6-4 can do that anyway. And there we go. Full-on aggression here by RDU, who recognizes that he can't fight the fight without Savannah high mains. He's gonna have to go face here and hope for the best.
Definitely.
As you said, there are players who know when to turn the tides, or at least when to push for damage, when to go for tempo. And Lifecoach, I mean RDU right now, just doing exactly that, ignoring the board, realizing that even if he wanted, without a Savannah high main, there is no fighting for the board here.
He has to heal, that's definitely the option, but you have to go face with the 6 points of damage, and oh wow, he chooses to go face with everything.
So he's gonna threaten the Savage Roar, and RDU might feel threatened by it, so much so that he aims to trade at this point. It's possible. He's not, like, the health of his opponent is not low enough that he can just ignore everything.
Oh, well,
so if there is a Savage Roar...
helping here. I swiped up the deck would be insane.
One has been played, so you can't really play around it. But yes, definitely, that would make it like that would just demolish RDU's board right now.
And what's the draw? Low tip. Okay.
There is no taunt in Lifecoach's board right now, so honestly, if RDU can just keep ignoring the board, he could push for lethal soon.
So that's 4 points of damage remaining after Misha being killed, and that's the weapon. So that's 7, 9 with the hero power. So if Lifecoach fears the skill command, he has to push for low tap and hero power up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You wanted to deny that and maybe get yourself a lethal sooner than your opponent can get it.
Maybe
I do like it.
The Big Game Hunter even.
Let's see what comes out of this. A Houndmaster. Oh, the irony.
Yeah, he wanted to get a taunt from that.
Yeah, get a Senjin or yeah. Is there anything else on 4 really that's played besides the Arcane Nullifier and Senjin?
Arcane Nullifier, didn't even think about that. Well, he plays the Big Game Hunter, as I said. This might be the case here.
Yeah, he is just pushing for lethal here, or at least trying to push for lethal sooner than his opponent can get it. And that Knife Juggler, he would have loved an Unleash, but that Loatheb locking down everything.
So that's 2 points of lethal. And now it pushes RDU back into the position when he has to defend himself.
Yeah.
Because even when he kills the Big Game Hunter, he's being threatened by those 3 creatures just to push for 14 points of damage.
Yeah, so he's gonna have to use 3 hounds on the 4/3. I mean, I guess you could use 2 of them and then you unleash just for straight up hounds to get as many as possible. Because if you don't use unleash the hounds, you're gonna be left with nothing. Yep, and so he's gonna hope. And funny enough, actually, Lifecoach does not have lethal off the hand. RDU is gonna hope that his opponent does not have a swipe. He knows that he doesn't have a swipe, otherwise he would have used it when Misha was up. So now
Yeah,
he's
but
hoping there's no Drew the Claw.
funny enough, Lifecoach. Lifecoach has a lethal.
Well,
But
that's it.
if Lifecoach didn't draw the Force of Nature, RDU didn't have lethal either.
Yeah, it was gonna come down to getting Iron Beak skill command to the face. So ultimately, RDU is gonna lose this game to Lifecoach's Druid. It was actually an interesting race. RDU's draw was pretty dry. There were no Savannah Highmanes, which are probably one of the most important cards when you transition into that mid-late game, which lets you just keep applying pressure. It threatens, the unspoken rule of if Savannah hits you in the face once, you've lost the game. That still applies at the nowadays. If it does stick on the board long enough to hit you once, you're gonna be in a pretty big problem.
Yep, I agree. And Lifecoach takes 2-0 lead over RDU here. Very interesting matches. Like I think when you see their dex choices, they're both taking out against each other, and that's super interesting because they know each other so much that they can predict what will the opposing player bring.
Yeah, I mean, Lifecoach teched with the Kazan Mystic. I guess in case of Mage or in case of a Hunter,
yeah.
but he didn't even get to use it. Even though Hunter might have been playing traps, there were none that he could actually steal with Kazan Mystic. So he took the game anyway and did pretty well. But I think if a Savannah Highmane had been in RDU's hand, this game might have turned out a bit differently.
Yeah,
The
totally
Savannah
agree.
Highmane would have been very, very strong here in this position.
Yeah. So, Lifecoach is left with his mage deck, which is, in his words, the best deck out there. So I think he has to feel comfortable in this situation.
Confident, yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
if
confident
you're
too.
RDU, knowing that there is the only deck that your opponent is playing, which deck do you bring against? You've got a rogue that you could use, you've got your hunter that you could use, and you've got your druid that you could use. I don't think druid is exactly a deck I'd pick to counter mage.
Can we even pick a deck when he brings like Big Game Hunter, Cold Blood, Shadow Steps, Rogue?
You know what? Never mind. Okay, so I assume because of the way his rogue is built.
Okay,
I
Hunter
have
for
to
RDU.
I
There's
think
a
I think
Hunter
it's
for
gonna be
RDU.
hunter for RDU.
Yeah.
Makes
he
too
picks
much
the Hunter.
sense. Yeah, the rogue has its 2 combo E to actually fight off the constant flow of aggression from mage, and the druid is not exactly a very favored deck here. So picking hunter is a very safe bet.
Yeah. Agree. So we'll have to see. RDU has quite an opening hand here. There's, I can't really put the archetype.
Wait. Apparently the game's not going on right now.
Oh, there's a bug of the spectator mode, right?
Yeah, spectator mode is currently glitching out because of what it is. I guess it just glitches once in a while. It's no problem. We'll just get back in the game real quick. Apparently RDU and Lifecoach are already getting their game underway.
Yeah, there's update on the client.
An update on the client? Oh wow, mid-game. That sounds good.
Yeah, very good.
Alright, we're about to respectate. It shouldn't be long.
Yeah.
Do not
for
picnic Twitch
For
chat.
now, turn 1 for Lifecoach was a Clockwork Gnome, and for RDU it was a coin Hunt Creeper.
Yeah, pretty good answer, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely.
Not amazing in case of an Oyotron, but it's pretty solid.
Okay, we got the gameplay. Woohoo! Hooray! Oh, there's a great answer for that Hunted Creeper. Well, maybe not great, but still, an Oyotron is better than nothing.
Well, actually, an Oyotron is amazing in this position. It's probably one of the best possible cards that he could have gotten. The amount of... It actually stops the aggression from... It will stop the aggression from RDU.
So Lifecoach is just waiting patiently for the rope to arrive.
And then it's going to drop an Oyotron or Snow Trigger.
Oh, he goes for the Snow Trigger, interesting enough. So
For the bow denial, I guess? 'Cause
Yeah, I
it
think
can't be
so.
played.
He saw that the coin was used, so he's sure that there will be no weapon on turn 2.
Yeah, and if there was a weapon, it would have to be Glaive Zuka, which means the opponent still freezes himself in the process, which you're okay with. Now, that's a pretty nice line of play here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, none of the minions that RDU has right now really are awesome. I mean, the Leper Gnome just gets pinged away.
I don't think it's.
Argyll...
I don't think it's even mid-range hunter. Like,
No,
there's
but that's the
leper
thing. That's the
gnome.
thing. I'm thinking about what it is, and based on what we saw last game, I'm starting to think it's more of a hybrid between both archetypes. All right, this display here from RDU is pretty solid. It forces the opponent to ping if he wants to get maximum value, and if he doesn't ping, he still can't freeze your face. And if he pings you, he doesn't have mana to follow up with anything unless he got lucky and has a second Clockwork Gnome, which he anyway would be sacrificing into your 1/1. So really nice line of play here from RDU.
Yep, agree to totally agree. But the life coach on the other hand, I think he has to go with the spider tank.
It's sturdy enough that it won't die to anything but a bow or some kind of hunter's mark. And anyway, he's gonna the opponent is gonna keep 2 minions no matter what you do. I mean, Annoyotron is not that terrible either. It does stop everything. I think Annoyotron might be even slightly better, tanking 2 minions at once.
The problem is that Lifecoach wants to get a mech on board for turn 4 for the Blast Mage to have maximum impact on the board. And if he attacks into the owl, well, you know, with the weapon we know that RDU has a whole board clear here.
Yeah, he would have had it even with Annoyotron. So ultimately, there shouldn't be, unless RDU picks another line of play, there shouldn't be any mech like Blast Mage value at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. So he has to
card
go
is
for the
insane,
clear.
actually. Like, Mech Mage is probably carried a lot by the Blast Mage's ability to get so much damage packed in one card. A 5/4 for 4 is a pretty decent body when you consider Sludge Belcher in the metagame. You can proactively answer a Sludge, and you even get to clear out minions that were there previously.
Or just damage to the face.
Yeah, which is also, you know, it accomplishes your game plan as a
Yeah.
Mech Mage, so I like that.
When you think about it, when there's no creatures on board and you just go with a 4 times ping to the face, it's like 2/3 of a fireball.
Yeah, and the worst part is, I mean, not the worst part, but the sad part is that other decks that are trying mech right now, I know Lifecoach had a win streak yesterday with some kind of mech warrior, what he was playing on ladder, but a lot of classes trying out mech simply don't have an equivalent to something like a Blast Mage,
I
unfortunately.
really like this display. Buffing the Annoyotron to 2 points of attack when he still has the shield intact.
Yeah, that way if he attacks with a weapon, you're at least guaranteed 2.
Yep.
No matter what happens. RDU's hand is looking pretty combo-y. All he's got is a Knife Juggler and an Unleash the Hounds. But that Blast Mage, it's about to unleash the value. Is there any other line of play than attacking with a 3/2 and triggering Freezing Trap?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, do
He
you
even
attack
wants to check the snake traps, you know?
Yeah, since you have Mech Mage, Blast Mage. I need to stop
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
Mech Mage. If you have Blast Mage, it's not really that big of a problem. Lifecoach not going to fall for the trap of denying himself the Blast Mage value and attacking with an Oitron first.
And
He's gonna
Blast
give it a
Mage
shot.
goes-
Even if it whiffed, though, the Annoyotron's shield could have still taken out whatever minion was left, so that would have been fine. But this is probably the best case scenario for him at the moment. A kill command's going to be a pretty interesting card here to use to, you know, take out that 5/4. You can't afford getting hit in the face for 5 every turn by a Mech Mage.
That Blast Mage is just insane. Like, when you think about it, he just killed creatures and eat a skill command.
Yeah, it's an insane card. It's insanely budgeted. It contains an arcane missile and more on its own.
With spell power.
Like, think of Avenging Wrath. Now think of this, and ask yourself
It's
how it's even
Avenging
possible.
Wrath.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. It comes on a stick as well. Like, it's got a body to go with it. That deals with
legs,
one of the
you
most
say?
important... he got... Well, this Knife Juggler Unleash is gonna be not too bad at this
Yeah,
point.
that's five knives.
Yep, with the Hunted Creeper popping up.
Yeah,
It'll be a huge amount.
Oh no, second to the face? Oh, okay. Almost. Oh, that's unlucky.
Alright, so he pops up the Shredder, and out comes a Steamroll.
No, he can target the allies. I mean, the minions.
Oh
that's
no,
insane.
the mage can target minions. What are we gonna do? Alright, so Dr. Boom on curve for the mage, I think is a pretty straightforward play. Do you remove the Knife Juggler? I think you have to, just because it's a safe bet. I mean, you're so far ahead at this point that you might as well play it safe and not risk your opponent having another, getting more value out of that Unleash the Hounds. The Boom bots kill the spider. That's not what you want to see.
Oh, that's awful.
And that kill command. If the spider hadn't died, he might have been able to get a kill command value. Do you really
Great drop here?
Yeah, I don't think you really care too much, actually. Now that I look at it, it doesn't care too much about that freezing trap. Getting back Dr. Boom is pretty much irrelevant, even if you do attack into it.
Yeah, you just use that for Mech Warper, and that's it. You got lethal next turn. So RDU has to use the skill command this turn. And well, I don't feel there's a way RDU can come back from this game.
Yeah, unless there's some kind of special Deathwing tech that's coming up, I don't see how RDU is supposed to be taking this game away from his opponent.
And Deathwing is still 2 turns away.
He kills the Mech Warper to prevent the freezing trap from whiffing, and that should be... Actually, this is game. You attack with a 6-4, and you're actually able to get the lethal with your hero power. Exact lethal with Fireball and Doctor Balanced. So... Yep. Well played. It's probably going to be coming out from RDU here. Lifecoach going 3-0 against RDU.
Lifecoach run is just incredible. This year, his win ratio on tournaments is above 70%.
Yeah, that can't possibly be sustainable, can it?